Hey, Jacob.
Hey, Matt.
Guess what?
What?
We're reviewing a Haval Jolion S.
Ooh.
10 years ago, if you had asked me, would I buy a Haval, I would have said no. I'm being totally honest with you guys. I would have just said no. That has changed. And frankly, I'm surprised I'm saying that because there are some things about this car that I don't love, but there are some things about this car that are just really good, just like its price. This one here, it's like top spec and it's 38,000 Australian dollars. Drive away. Insane value, especially for what you get. It's not all roses, but a lot of it is good or excusable by its price. Alrighty, let's start with the exterior of the Haval Jolion. I think it's a really good looking SUV, man.
Especially from the front.
Especially from the front. They have really cool daytime running lights here. Got really bright LEDs here too. And it's all LED, not halogen bulbs like a lot of other cars at this price point have. So it just feels premium. You've got a really cool grille here. Haval badge there with some faux carbon fiber. Don't know why. That is terrible. Please don't put yellow New South Wales plates on cars, ever.
Yeah, just don't put New South Wales plates on cars, I think.
We're from Victoria. And then down the bottom, you have a pretty nice bumper, but a good looking car. The other thing, Jacob, you see up there? See all that safety stuff up there?
I do see it.
That's your safety stuff. It actually uses those for its autonomous driving aids. And this thing is awesome with that. If you want to read more about its safety and that, head to our website, CarSauce.com. We have a full written article on that out now. Check this out. So we get 19-inch wheels here. You can see they're blacked out because we have the S spec here. They are wrapped in some pretty average tires. These are Kumos. They're not very wide, 225s. And as you're gonna see, especially when you launch this thing, yeah, it's not the best.
Definitely not.
No. You do have a camera here because this has a really good 360 camera. Again, this thing is feature packed at its price. I'm genuinely mind blown by that. You got keyless entry and go, but only for the driver's door and the boot. You got some more blacked out features with a roof rail up there. By the way, this thing has a panoramic sunroof. Mad. You've also got some tinted privacy glass straight from the factory. Sweet. But I will be honest, the back is a little bit uninspiring. The taillights are, they're fine. Got the Haval badge spelt out in what can only be described as bold font. GWM badge, because this is Great Wall Motor Haval. You've got the Jolion badge there and the S badge, which looks like it's been taken straight off an Audi S car.
Not a bad thing.
They're
That's
literally
value.
identical. Yeah, I guess that's just cool. And then down the bottom, you get what looks like a real diffuser, but it would be quite fake. Let's check out the interior. Alrighty, coming to the interior of the Haval Jolion. Look, it's a pretty nice place to be. Material choice is okay. It does feel like it's a $38,000 car in some areas. In some areas, it feels like it's a $70,000 car. A big area where that is this infotainment display because it is the snappiest display I have ever used. And I think they've like either changed it or they've updated it. There's something about it, but it has not messed up on me once.
It's actually fantastic.
Fantastic. What's bad about it? Well, everything is in the screen.
It controls too much.
Everything is in the screen. And there is definitely room for improvement here because, for example, if you want to access the air conditioning controls, you can press one of the shortcuts here and then that'll bring the menu up. But then you've just got to change everything through there. There needs to be physical buttons. Let's just leave it at that. I don't know what else to say. I mean, it's a bit of a broken record here, but they do need to fix it. Guys, it's the end of the day. We're about to wrap up and we've just realized you can swipe from the right here and it pulls up this menu, which, I mean, it's not intuitive at all. You wouldn't have known. But now that it's here, I think that's awesome because you can change your driving modes, change your volume because we're like, where's that? That's pretty good.
It actually makes it a lot more usable.
A lot more usable. So if we say other things in this video, you know why. Another thing that's a bit weird is that this shifter doesn't have a stop. So you can keep shifting it and it will just, it's really difficult to know exactly what gear you're in without looking at it or without ingrained muscle memory. The comfort of this is not the most comfortable. I have experienced same issue with other Havals where I just feel like I don't have enough leg support. Steering wheel is actually at a fine angle, but you can't telescope it. It just tilts. I haven't really found an issue with that, to be honest. And really, again, when you come back to the price, I can't hate on it. I really can't.
Not too hard, at least.
Not too hard. I do like that the seats are heated as well. They do feel like leather, but they're not real leather. But they're pretty convincing, to be honest. I've also got the Haval badge embossed within them and some stitching around. But then there's other technology in here that is also really good. You get a great digital instrument cluster. It doesn't show a huge amount of information, but it looks good. It's high definition. Could be a little bit brighter in some instances, but it's fine. You've got a great heads-up display as well. Weird to see that at this price point, but I'm not going to complain. You've also got this little sensor here that actually looks at your eyes and makes sure that you're looking forward. It is a little bit annoying.
It's very annoying.
It's a bit intrusive. It's like the Subaru system. So I think there are some ways in which safety technology is probably going a bit too far. As I said, you got that panoramic sunroof that looks great too. Got a wireless Qi charger there too. You got really well dampened center box there with a couple of cup holders, except one is tiny. So really it's one cup holder and maybe one for your energy drink. And then there aren't really many other cup holders. I mean, there's one in the door, but it's not a cup holder. You put a cup in there, it's gonna spill. You got a nice center armrest with plenty of storage. The glove box is a big size there too. And storage doesn't end there because you got a bit under the center console too. This doesn't have a transmission tunnel because it's front wheel drive only. You've also got two USB-A ports and a 12-volt socket. I wish that this USB-A port was easier to access because that connects you into your wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but oh well. Some things you win, some things you lose. And that's kind of the theme across this car. There's all these little niggles that just compound and make this car, you know, there's some things about this car that just kind of need to be fixed, but it's livable. All right, guys, this is look how much space I have got. I've got heaps of legroom, heaps of headroom. Tow room is fantastic too. It's really impressive. This is a bigger mid-sized SUV, so keep that in mind, but it's not that big. And I am super impressed with how much space you get. Also, it's like more comfortable in the back because you actually get more leg support somehow. It's just comfy. I like it. You've also got the fake leather back here. You got a center armrest with a couple of cup holders. You've also got a couple of USB-A ports. You got air vents back here. That's pretty good to see, especially at this price point. And down the bottom, you have a little storage area there too. I like it.
You know what? It gets the job done.
Yeah, this actually gets the job done. What about practicality? Let's check that out. Alrighty, let's talk about practicality because it's an SUV. It needs to be practical. You get a really good amount of space inside of there. It's actually very impressive. Under this false floor, you do have a space saver spare wheel, so better than a goo kit that some other car companies give you. Also, pulling down the seat's pretty easy. You pull that, ooh, whack, down it goes. Same for this one. Ooh, can you see the small of my back?
I can.
I better cut that out. And then it goes pretty much fully flat. You get heaps of space in there. It's really impressive.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
But it is a larger mid-size SUV, if that makes sense. Pretty much biggest in its class. This is actually really interesting because it's not just an S badge and some black accents on the car like a lot of other manufacturers do. They've actually tuned this engine differently to what you'll find across the rest of the range. So the rest of the range comes with a 1.5 litre turbo petrol, same as this. There's also a hybrid version available, which frankly would probably be my choice of the range. And this also has a 1.5 litre turbo petrol, but it's not the same because it's tuned differently. It's got 130 kilowatt of power, 270 Newton meters of torque. That's actually quite impressive, especially from such a small displacement engine. That's actually up 20 kilowatts and 50 Newton meters of torque. That's substantial. Very
more than substantial.
Now, in terms of fuel economy, I'm not gonna lie, it's not great.
They claim about 8, don't they?
They actually claim 7.5 for the up-tuned engine and about 8 for the non-up-tuned engine, the standard one. But really, we're getting closer to like 10 litres per 100 kilometers, which is okay, but it's certainly not great. Also not great is what this engine is paired to because it does send power through to the front wheels through an open differential. That essentially means that it doesn't really modulate the power very well, as you're gonna see in a second. Not to mention that power is sent through a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, which again, really isn't good. But what better way to show you that than by performance testing it? Let's launch it.
Let's do it.
So friend, being the sport model, we have to put the car into sport mode. So we go to driving mode, boop, and then we press sport.
Ooh.
The car flashes its lights for
Just to let everyone else know.
safety reasons, I'm sure.
We are now going to be
Everyone,
sporty.
we're fast. By the way, this car has launch control. Yeah.
What?
Awesome. Try it. I don't think it's going to do very well because one, the tires aren't amazing, and two, it's a little bit of a damp day, but we're going to give it a go. All right, friend, let's do this. Fist me. Brake boost, launch it.
Please go.
Build boost.
Oh. Oh my God. Oh.
Oh.
That is not very good.
No, we're going to try that again without launch control. I think 0 to 110 seconds.
Well, the tires are warm.
I'll tell you what though, the transmission really shifts hard, doesn't it?
That was like a Golf R.
Okay, so clearly it doesn't like traction off. Let's just try easing onto the throttle.
I'm scared. Still.
Ready?
Oh.
I'd still activate launch mode somehow.
What? Oh, that's better.
That feels good.
That's a lot better. Oh,
Oh,
that was a massive difference.
yeah, 0 to 100 in 8.86 seconds. And I reckon if we had better tires on this,
Oh, yeah.
I reckon it could do like,
7.5.
yeah, honestly, that's
Yeah,
pretty good.
I agree.
All right, let's drive this thing normally. Alrighty, bro. That's a very loud indicator. Let's get the bad out of the way. All right, just gonna come to a little stop here.
Oh, please don't. We're never going to go again.
My gosh,
This car has only one mode, and that's violence.
the bad. It's the transmission. There's no doubt that this transmission is not the greatest dual clutch I have ever driven. In fact, I would say it's more on the poopy end
Definitely.
of the 7-speed dual clutches that I've driven. The only one that comes close to this is the one in the Kia Stonic. No, you don't stray.
Don't tell me what to do.
Hey, you don't stray.
I love how it comes up with a pop-up on the screen to distract you from being distracted. And the beeping doesn't stop straight away.
And when you're just driving it around normally, you put your foot down, like it feels decently quick-ish, but it's not like mind-blowing. However, when we go through, press this button. Uh-oh.
Don't stray.
No, you don't tell me. Don't tell me. Driving settings? Yeah. Here,
Don't stray.
and then pulls drive with attention. Okay, daddy. Put the car into sport mode, and now we floor it. I swear it becomes like more responsive
It definitely does.
to the point where, I ain't gonna lie, bro, it's kind of fun. It's not just that they've tuned the engine and that's it. They've actually put multi-link rear suspension in. They've changed it from the torsion beam at the rear. And I actually think it really helps with the way that this thing drives.
It handles pretty well.
Handles pretty damn well. The steering becomes like very heavy to the point where it feels a little bit disconnected. But I mean, that happens in a lot of cars, to be fair.
Oh my god. This thing is torquey. Woo!
Oh,
It's not bad.
it's not too bad. Let's try rowing through our own gears, because the benefit of having a dual clutch, theoretically, is that it should shift faster.
Oh yeah.
And that's not very fast.
No.
There was a bit of a delay there, I ain't gonna lie. Here's the thing, and I know it's almost an excuse for this car, but the people who buy a mid-sized SUV, like 95%, like don't even know really how an engine and transmission work. They don't really care. I think when you come to a stop, we are in sport mode, to be fair. Actually, we'll put the car into comfort, and you really try and feather the throttle. It doesn't really work, and then it just goes.
Yeah.
And that can be a little bit jarring, but for most people, I think you're either going to excuse it because of the price. This thing is cheap. You're going to excuse it because you don't really know any better.
Yeah.
Like maybe you came from a manual car, maybe you come from like whatever, and it just like, it's not really a deal breaker to you.
That's true.
Or three, you just don't care. We are at Saucy Corner. Let's see how this goes around our double corners. Tickle my little pickle.
It's been tickled.
Let's brake boost launch it. It's gonna spin its wheels.
Oh! Yeah.
It's got a look.
Still spinning.
It's got a lot of power through its front wheels, man.
Too much. Because this is the S.
S for sport.
S for what we're doing right now. Scary.
Oh, that is understeer and a half,
Oh.
but that's okay.
I'm scared.
Oh, the engine's quite loud, I think. Come on. It doesn't want to give me power now. It's
Nah.
like, I know what you did. I know what you did. But then it pulls out of the corner pretty well.
I'm telling you, in a straight line, it's not bad.
It's not bad at all. I don't think it's that bad
For the price.
for the price. I think you got to keep that in mind. Dude, it's like $10,000 more than a Suzuki Ignis.
That's kind of sad.
Think about that, you know? It's really not that bad. The only other thing I want to talk about is the self-driving technology. Let's set it. The issue that it has is that it slows down quite a lot around corners. So if we speed it up to the speed limit here of 80, I don't know why it's read that sign wrong, but that's okay. Oh, I've set it to 150.
I'm surprised it even goes that high.
Oh man.
At least it gently
But like,
accelerates.
look how much it slows down. It does steer itself pretty well,
It does, yeah.
but like it slows down more than I would like.
Yeah,
And that's scary for when there's a car behind you.
definitely. If there's a slight curve on the freeway, you're going 100, it'll go down to 80.
That's not great.
No.
There's just like some small quality of life things. If they fix those, I reckon this could be a really, really good car.
No, I
and
genuinely
it
agree.
should be easy fixes, like theoretically. This is all software,
Yeah, it's all software bugs.
except for the transmission. probably needs a new transmission. Anyway, let's get into our final thoughts.
Let's do it.
Alrighty, final thoughts on the Haval Jolion S. I think once you take into consideration the fact that this thing is actually pretty cheap for a family mid-size SUV, it's pretty impressive. No, it doesn't drive the best. It does have a pretty significant amount of power. It just doesn't put that to the road very well. For what you get, the technology, the interior, comfort could probably be a bit better. I can excuse all of that because it is quite cheap and it comes with a 7-year unlimited kilometer warranty. So that is actually impressive. Don't hate me. It is what it is. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Just below that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. We would love to have you around. Share the video with a friend as well. That helps. Click over there to watch our Haval H6 hybrid review. It has a very similar powertrain to the hybrid version of this one. And if you want to see a Haval we didn't really like, you can watch our Haval H6 GT review over there. Right, ciao for now.
Bye-bye.